Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode, a very special one of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. We're filming live in person together.
Yes.
We're usually just like back and forth on the screen, and you might be checking your email while you're talking to me, but we're having a conversation.
That's right.
But today we get to be live in the flesh, in person, which is a lot of fun. So thanks for doing this, man. This is a fun kind of impromptu thing.
Always good to have you over. We just finished up some time with some of the key leaders of the church and talking about the future with the bridge. And so we can do this in person and also film this and share with our people what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for the folks at home, give us a quick rundown of how was
this past week.
We're on Tuesday today.
That's
we're on Tuesday. How was Sunday at Island Church? How was the service? What was the energy like?
Oh, it was a great service. I had some people come up and said, "Well, our church has really got this energy. These things are just happening." We had some repeat guests and we had some new guests here. Some just visiting. And then some in the process of moving, and so that's good. And then just our people. Of course, we'd like to have them all together at one time, but that doesn't work that way. Yeah. And so we're just good to see our people gather up. And this week we dealt with, still within the series of some of these foundational practices of the church. And so we dealt with prayer and just talking with God. Sometimes we think prayer is magic, like you just pray it and some things happen, or they have these mysteries. And so I tried to remove a few the mysteries and try to say prayer is just not a magic. And so if you haven't listened to that, if you missed last week, I encourage you to go back and
check that out. YouTube plug right there really quick. Subscribe. You won't miss them, and you'll always have them.
That's right. So it's just a good week. Just overall energy was really high and just engaging with people. And so
very cool.
We're going to need some more greeters.
More greeters? Okay, that's good to know. We're here in the lobby of the church, or the atrium, or whatever. What do we call this officially? Is this the lobby?
I don't know.
There's no good word for it. But yeah, okay, so new greeters is what we're kind of looking for right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want to make sure our people are just so warm and welcoming. And most people say this, but that first 1 or 2 minutes when you don't know what's on this side of the doors, we're right here close to the doors at the front. And so having that personal touch and just a warm, smiling face, our people do a great job. Thank you to our people for that, because often if people, this is how people kind of function. They get a first impression and then they spend the rest of the time trying to validate that impression, whether it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. And so our people do a great job, but we could use some additional formal greeters. It's not a whole lot to it. Just want to make that first greeting, and so if you'd like to be involved with that, let us know. Maybe you take one Sunday a month or one every couple of months.
Whatever they can do, right?
Yep.
It is always helpful, that's for sure.
It's good.
Okay, so who should they contact about that if folks are interested in signing up to be a greeter?
Well, part of what Stacy does in terms of her work, in addition to our administrative responsibilities, Stacy helps us with member engagement, and so she will be a contact that she can help you with that. Mark and Ty also as well help give some leadership to that. So any of us, you can talk to me, talk to Sandy, talk to Stacy. Just let us know, and we'll run you down.
Awesome. So what should folks know about what's coming up in the life of the church? Obviously, there's lots of great energy, lots of things happening. We were talking about Bridge to the Future, some major kind of community events in the future, maybe, right?
That's
dreaming, having a vision for it. But what's coming up on the near term that people should know?
This week we got the 4th of July, obviously. We think about our country. We think about, Scripture tells us to pray for our leaders, and we want to pray for our country. And we want to do that regardless of who's giving leadership, locally, statewide, nationally as well. And so we want to celebrate the independence that we have. We want to take advantage of that freedom that we have to actually to worship. And so I think there's a community parade as well. I think it's 9:30. You may want to check the Facebook page or something, make a call.
That's a great resource.
But I think that they're going to gather up at 9 o'clock, and they're going to start at Billy's Seafood across the street over there from us. And about 9:30 or soon after, they're going to be rolling out, kind of going around with a parade and just celebrate. So that's not technically the church's, but we'll want to participate in that and want to let you know about that. And then on this coming Sunday, I'm going to be still in this series. I'm going to pick up another foundations, and we're dealing with baptisms, because what is up with this baptism? Is it an immersion thing? Do you kind of drown them? Or do you sprinkle them? And why and what and how? Why was baptized as a child or baptized as an adult? What was Jesus? What did he say? So anyway, we're going to look at this subject and take out some of the mystery about baptism, and it's really such an important thing. And of course, when we think about that, we think about the freedom that we have in Christ, and we get freedom not just with baptism, but through Christ, and that gives us our real freedom in life. So this week, looking forward to a good week of that. The community's got this event going on. I'm sure there'll be a lot of hot dogs eaten, probably.
I'm sure. So, well, and baptism is one of those really profound next steps of the Christian faith. So I would also just say, candidly, if you've never been baptized, right? If folks out there have never been baptized, that's a great thing to contact us at the church about next steps. Say, hey, I've never been baptized in a biblical way, based on what Pastor Will preaches on Sunday. A great response to that could be, I want to take that next step of faith into baptism. So definitely let us know at the church if that's something that you're interested in.
And we're gonna have a baptism service on. It's almost 100%, not quite 100%, but it's almost 100% on July 20th. Actually, just 2 weeks following the service, we're going to go down to Fort DeSoto and we're going to have a baptism service. And so, if you would like to just maybe talk about that with me, if you're considering it and like to have that conversation, love to have that conversation.
It's a great time to do it. It's really convenient.
I mean, so it's just. It won't take all that long. We'll be down there, and it's just a great experience to celebrate what Christ has done in your life.
Absolutely.
And maybe you say, gosh, I've walked with Jesus for a long time, but I never was baptized. And this is a great opportunity. We had Chris Riley just a couple of years ago. We baptized Chris, and of course, he's been walking with Jesus and giving leadership in our church, but hadn't taken that step. And so don't feel awkward about that. Just let us know. Awesome. So that's coming up. And then actually on July 27th, we're going to we take Momentum's off in June, but it's a Sunday evening. We typically have some type of food gathering at first, like 5:15 till about 6. And then at 6 o'clock we gather up, very informal time, but it's very informative. It's a fun time. We put up slides and pictures of things that's been going on in the life of the church. We talk about the things that are coming in the life of the church. And particularly this time we're going to give you as many details as we can about what's going on with the Bridge project, our missions project to add to our facility, to expand our ministry. So that's coming up. Don't miss the 27th. Put that on your calendar.
It's a big one.
And if for no other reason, although the other reasons are good, it's the ice cream.
It's going to be an ice cream month.
Ice cream.
Done.
Not real food this time. Ice cream. So you can actually have 2 or 3 ice creams.
Because be good to go.
So you'll be.
It's like one dinner.
That's right. Just one dinner, just multiple ice creams, and so that works. So
that's great.
That's on the 27th.
Awesome. Pastor Will, how can folks be praying for the church this month?
Well, that's we think about the Church of Prayers. We continue. Leo met with us this morning.
Which is great,
And so Leo's continuing getting opportunities. He's been speaking to different places around the country, both on his situation, but also just generally things in the prison system. And of course, he's sharing his faith. That's a big part of what he's doing, and trying to put together his band and get some things going musically. And so our church has been involved with him on that, and we're making efforts to help him. But the primary issue, number one issue that you can pray for with him, is just his exoneration. We're trying to get the governor to move, and anyone that looked at the case, they come to the same conclusion. Everybody knows that he didn't do this, and we know the person who did this, and so we're just trying to help him get that final formal step of exoneration. But just pray for him, and then some of you would like to be involved financially with that. Some of you have stepped in. Our church has taken on that particular responsibility to continue. The church is sponsoring his church and 2 other churches that were actually prison ministries, and so we said the last thing we need to do is abandon him now that he's out. And so we've done that. So we want to do that in a coordinated effort. And so if you would like to give, we just ask you to do this through the church, because we're spending money that we did not budget, and Leo's agreed to this. And Leo, if you talk to Leo, he's going to tell you to give it through the church as well.
Absolutely.
Just so that we can coordinate to make sure that the left hand kind of knows what the right hand's doing.
There's no confusion or anything like
that. That's right.
Yeah.
We just want great clarity on that. And so, but they can pray about that. And then Chris wanted to think about praying, as we think we're probably down to about 1.3, maybe 1.5 million left. We're not sure exact cost for getting those numbers, but you can just pray that God will bring us the people along to give us resources. And Chris wanted just to remind you that you can actually give stock, not sell the stock and take the income, but we have a way that you can transfer. Sandy and I have actually done this. This is how we've done our giving. We've given our stock, the increase in value, given it to the church, and then the church can sell it, and then you get the full deduction for the current value, not what you paid for, but the current value of the stock.
That's amazing.
And so just don't forget that. We've had some people that you say, gosh, I'm not in a situation where I can do that right now. But maybe you can give it in terms of, as someone has done, is given part of your estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whether that's property, whether that's some other type of resources. But anyway, just pray about that God will provide. And this is really, as we talked about, Matt, earlier this morning, that taking on this building, we're trying to expand the mission of the church. This is a spiritual project. And we think about it's a financial project, it's a construction project. It is those kind of things. But really, it's a project to advance God's kingdom.
Absolutely.
and to see lives change, individuals change, boys and girls, men and women. And so when we do that, we know we have a spiritual enemy who's going to be at work. And so we just want to stay prayed up about that. And so we recently we had a computer go down that's cost us several weeks. That's just one thing as you think about this project. And so that cost us some work that had been done, had to be redone.
Absolutely.
And so just pray with us about that.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Great word. Thanks so much, Pastor Will, for doing this in person today. This
That's
is a lot
good.
of fun. Maybe we'll do it again sometime
That's right.
soon. Thank you so much for watching the Highland Church Weekly podcast. We'll see you back here again next week. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next week.